Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Darling. Wow, this is loud. Hold on, let me turn that down a bit. And I'm Darling. Let's see what's going on the island of Fawnhollow today. Sorry, completely forgot what I was saying. Did I say this is Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons? I don't remember. Didn't I start off with that? I probably said it. Anyway, so today, 4th of December, happy birthday to my friend Ali. Which is why it's kind of working on a gift for him right now, which is yeah, hello there everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:27 PM on Friday, December 4th, 2020. I think I talked about it a bit yesterday, but I was a bit hush-hush about it. We're making a manga for him, and it's a big project. There's a lot to do, and I'm still working, obviously, on his birthday to try and get it all compiled and done. So that's why this episode's gonna be probably cut a bit short. I'm not sure quite how short we're going to be cutting it, and nor what exactly we'll be doing. I want something just relaxing to do, because I've just been creating this project basically since I woke up this morning, and it's a lot. What on earth? Where does campfire come from? I guess it's just decorating stuff with campfires now. Is red our visitor? It's not red, and it's not someone here. I don't think we had a campground visitor. I was not paying enough attention. We don't. So I don't know what we'll be doing. I guess we'll just be doing our daily routine, and then we'll probably just catch a lobster, because I don't want to think about decorating island right now, to be perfectly honest. My brain's too frazzled. My brain was super frazzled yesterday, because that was basically the hugest amount of work we did towards the thing, this project, this manga we're making, because we had, if you don't know, we're making manga. We have 202 panels, or had 202 panels to create. Now we've got about, I'm gonna say 6 to 7 left, which is it's all right. It's a lot still. Don't get me wrong, but it's I'll be rushing through them. I'll be copy pasting a lot of them. I did not mean to sit down here as well, but hello as well. Anyway, we'll have a nice conversation. So if I sound a bit tired, that's probably why. Still a 3-star rating, which is relax repeating scenery, but yeah, so my commentary this episode might also be a bit frazzled. That's not even yesterday. Yesterday was just like, yesterday was like manic. Now I'm just sort of like, I'm vibing, but I'm also a bit tired, you know. So why don't we go dig up some fossils? We'll give out some gifts. Maybe we can see if anyone's moved into Pashmina's house. Yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing. I've never created a manga before. I've created comics before, I think. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm almost certain I have created comics before. Hello, Lily. What's up? It's rise like the sun. Lily, you want to change our secret greeting every single time? About shine like rainbows. Shine like rainbows? Shine like rainbows. Oh, what? Enough? Joy-Con, please. Shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No, no. I'm not doing these very erratic movements. This is the Joy-Con doing it for me. Which is, please, please, Joy-Con, please. Just go, oh my gosh. Are you done? It's trolling me. Shine like rainbows. Okay, that took about 3 minutes to type in. Yeah, I've created a comic before, or multiple comics before, I think. I'm trying to remember what they were though. My memory's gone from them, but I definitely remember this process of making a comic before. I've never made anything so much on this sort of scale before. I've got a lot of my other friends to collaborate on it, to design their own efforts. There's not many artists. Oh, sold. Who bought this then? Jakey. I don't know who Jakey is. Where's my Google Chrome? It's on the other screen. That's why I can't see it. Jakey Animal Crossing. I just typed crossing wrong. Not Jacob, Jakey. Oh. Oh, Jacob is Jakey. Is a Lazybird villager in Animal Crossing series? In the newest update of PAL versions, his name is Jakey, but in North America version, he's Jacob. Why? How very strange. I'm not really sure what to make of that. There's always random, like, PAL and NTSC differences, so we don't have to go do any island hopping. As a random villager, Jakey has moved in. Hello, Gulliver. We got you to chat to today. I don't really know what I'm saying. My conversational quadrant is a blank. So I don't even know what to say about all these sort of things anymore. What was I saying? Making a comic before, yes. Like, I'd like to make more comic things. They're kind of fun. I do like drawing, of course. I wouldn't want it on... Hold on a second. That was new Gulliver dialogue. Wait, that was totally new Gulliver dialogue, right? I didn't recognise that start bar, but maybe I've skipped through a lot of them now, so maybe I haven't. Maybe I've just forgotten. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to make a manga again. Maybe not so time pressured this time, because we started, I don't know if I talked about it in an Animal Crossing video, I don't think so. I think we started planning about 10 days before his birthday. No, okay, that's a lie. We started quite a lot earlier, but like, we started really getting down to the bulk of the planning about 10 days before, and we started drawing on the 28th, which is about a week or so before. Drawing is slow, 202 panels. There was initially just 3 of us, and then I asked a lot of other people if they were interested in joining, and they were like, sure, sounds like fun. So I was like, okay, I guess we'll stick with this initial 202 panels. Oh, what are we... we're getting vanilla clams for Gulliver, that's what we're doing. I forgot what we were doing. So, I'm an organised person. We've done quite a lot of these projects now, and I suppose I've helmed, a lot of them. I'm kind of very aware of what's doable in what sort of time frame, and I think especially a big pitfall of group projects is a lot, especially with things like these, which tend to be passion projects. People get really excited generating ideas, coming up with like crazy things, being like, oh, what if we do this and do this and do that and do this and sort of thing, which is, you know, awesome, because idea generation is great, they're great for brainstorming, but what you really need to do is take that huge mess of ideas and then like filter it down into the bare necessities, the backbone of your project, and what you can feasibly get done in time. Because everyone wants to, like, everyone can generate ideas, let's be honest. It's not difficult to like churn out like okay, I shouldn't say it's not difficult, because people have different levels of creativity, I suppose, when it comes to this thing, and imagination and sources and stuff that they can reference from and take inspiration from. But especially with this sort of thing, idea generation is easy. A lot of people can churn out like multiple ideas, like on an end, if they just sort of sat there and brainstormed, or whatever sort of tactic you'd rather use for your idea generation. The actual important part, though, in my case, I believe, is the actual, you know, creating part of it, which people don't tend to like do as much. It's a bit of a slog, isn't it? It's much more fun, especially, I'm going to use this manga creation as an example. It's much more fun to come up with like, oh, what if we had this scene? What if we had something like this in it? What if we, I don't know, did it like this? What if we had this sort of shot? What if we included this like idea or chapter or something like that? Which is great, it's fantastic. But, you know, when it's like, okay, but if we come up with those ideas and we incorporate them into our plan, we're going to have to draw them. Can we do that? Is that feasible? How much can we get done? Are we all willing to put in the equal amount of effort to get this done? And to be fair, as with every group project, because of different circumstances, there's not always going to be an even distribution of workload, which is fair enough. You kind of expect it. And also, the abilities we all have is quite different. This is rather a creatively minded project, and me being one of the few artists in our friend group. Oh, well, it feels weird to call myself an artist, because I'm not really an artist, but I like doing art as a hobby. It's considerably easier for me to draw out these sort of things, to storyboard these sort of things. So I took the helm of trying to organise these sort of things together. We sort of brainstormed ideas, just the 3 of us, and then I got to work basically storyboarding everything, and then recruiting all of the other friend circles to try and get them to draw some other panels in. But in the end, the majority of the panels were drawn by us. We have like a Google Doc spreadsheet where we can see how much everyone's drawn. And I've drawn 77 panels, Benedict's drawn 72, and then William's drawn 21. And then the others have drawn about less than 10 each, not between them. Which is fair enough, because they want the main, what's the word? Proprietors, I guess? They want the ones proposing this sort of idea, so that's fair enough. It was a real grind, it was a real slog, to be honest. We still got a lot left. In fact, I'm just going to look at this and see what... So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 panels left, which is fine. Some of them are kind of easy to draw. I'll just copy paste them from different shots, previous manga. But before I was on the idea that I was like, okay, if I got time to, I'm going to try and draw each one individually, which is fine, and then I'll leave the duplicate ones to later, and maybe I can duplicate them if I need to. But seeing as I worked on a lot of these projects before, especially because if you don't know, in the past we made birthday songs for each other, but the problem with that was I'm like the only one who has musical experience in our friend group, so it's really hard to collaborate on. So we did that for like about 2 years on birthdays, and then we were just like, okay, I was talking to, like, I can't remember who I was talking to, like Benedict or maybe the 4 of us who usually do it. I was just like, we should probably do something else, because this is really hard to collaborate on, and it's a lot of time, and I'm not even, like, music composition is not even a hobby of mine. It's something I have taken a passing interest in, but it's not something I've really taken the time to practice or do stuff with like I have with art. So it was really difficult to do. So I was like, we should do something different. And then about, it was like 2 months ago or something, when we were actually planning for William's birthday, which was in November, Benedict was like, we should make a manga for Ali's birthday. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea, because it's something art-based, which is a hobby that I've really been honing in on recently as well. And it's a lot easier to collaborate on, I think, because it's a lot easier for someone to like open up MS Paint or whatever and do a silly doodle or drawing, in my opinion, than it is for someone to be like, hey, can you think, is this melody good or not? Can you come up with a harmony? Or excuse me, can I not jump over here? I thought that's what I've been doing. Can you come up with like an instrumental lick? Can you come up with like a solo or something of a song? The only thing which is possible for people to collaborate on in music is, without musical experiences, critiquing, I suppose, by just listening to it, being like, I like this part or I don't like this part, but you know, that doesn't create anything. And the other part is writing lyrics, which is basically what they do as a proponent. What I let them do the majority of it, and I write it, except for it takes a really long time for me to write a song, because I don't have much musical composition experience. I only done it for grade 5 theory, which is something you have to do for UK music exams. If you want to do music exams past grade 6, past grade 5, I can't remember. So I know some things. I know like cadences. I know, of course, about chords. I know about the different types of chords. I don't know when to use them particularly well. Oh, my microphone nearly fell over. Hold on. But things like group projects are always difficult like this. And to be honest, I think there's a general consensus going around, especially in school time, but people don't like group projects because it tends to be that the workload is pretty uneven. I think that's, understandable. I think it depends a lot on who you work with. Like with my friends, they do a decent amount of work. Like Benedict has done quite a lot of work with this. William has been here and there doing a lot. He done a lot more of idea generation, I suppose, than the actual meat and potatoes creation of it. Oh, hello. What are you two talking about over here? Ace Weekend's perfect timing. Lily and I were just talking. She's looking for some new food ideas. That's right, dear. Can you help me out? I'm just stuck in a food rut. I keep cooking the same old things again and again, so I'm asking around for ideas. I asked Rowan here, but I want more opinions, and his ideas are a little dull. So how about you? What do you think I should make? Pizza. Okay, I can see that. Pizza protein shake could be good. Just blend up pizza with protein powder and ice. Working pizza dough is a lot of fun. I think I'll make myself a 4-cheese pizza. Quattro formaggi. I love 4-cheese pizza. Oh, with extra cheese. Yeah, pizza sounds so good, dear. Thanks. So, if you don't want to make a protein shake, why am I here? It's a good question. Yeah, group projects really depends on who you work with. I feel like working with friends, it depends on your friend group, of course. Our friend group is pretty good, actually, a working project. But I think a lot of it also depends on your leader, quote, quote. The person who's leading the group project and getting everyone to work together. And I'll be honest, I don't think I'm a great leader. I think I'm an alright enough leader, or at least I've had enough experience with trying to lead things like this now that I feel reasonably comfortable with it. A lot of it is like, if you set up a good groundwork for organisation, it's easier to get things done. The only way I would say you can get away without doing organisation is if all of you in the group are not the type of people who ever plan things and do things spontaneously, but then I'm kind of suspicious if that even works out in the end. If that works out for you, fair enough. Sorry, let me take a sip of water. Yeah, I think it really depends, not just on the group, because obviously if you have someone who's completely unreceptive in your group project, you're not going to get anything done, which is unsurprising. So yeah, but I think a lot of it does rest on the leader's shoulders. Like people, I know there's always things like, oh, supervisors just sort of want to watch and don't do any work. That's true. There's the pitfall of that, I suppose. I feel like a good leader shouldn't be doing that. A good leader should be leading by example, right? They should be perhaps doing the most work of the entire group in some aspects. And so it's a really good idea to have a good leader, a strong figurehead, especially because you want someone when one of your teammates or something gets stuck, you need someone to basically call the shot of what you do next. So Raymond, Harry, Fuchsia has given us a portrait. Raymond, Harry. Oh, we don't need to give out another one, right? Oh, we only need to give 3. Okay, well, I dug up 3 just for fun, I guess. I forgot Pashmina's moved away, that's why. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I talked about this before, but I went on a Head Start course ages ago before university. Oh, hello. What's up? Hey, could you use this old cafe uniform? Because I sure can. Head Start course, which is basically like a 5-day intro to university life or something, university courses. And one of our final projects we had over the last 2 days, it was a computer science one, it was in Sheffield, we had to do create something, like a programming thing. I think we were programming games. I can't remember if the actual assignment was games or everyone just programmed the game. I think it was the actual assignment was game. And we had, it was a group of 6 of us, and we had a pretty nice leader. She was like, she was reasonably competent at programming. She was much more experienced, I believe, with the front end stuff, but she was organised. She got us together to do things. Funnily enough, despite that being a programming course, I did all the artwork in our project for some reason, because we had 2 really, really good programmers. One guy who did basically all the front end, one guy who did all the back end. We did like a match-3, like Bejeweled style game. It was a really cool experience. And then I think we had 2 other people who, because I think we were programming in JavaScript or Python, I can't remember. I only knew a bit of JavaScript back then. I didn't know much programming, because I thought that course would maybe be teaching you about programming. It was kind of assumed that you had a real leg up if you knew programming already beforehand going into that course, but fair enough. What was I saying? Don't remember. Yeah, but I think she organised our group pretty well, to be honest. Because back then I was much more shy. I was like, I didn't want to step up into these leadership roles, into these sort of things. Nowadays, I wouldn't mind it. Well, of course, those sort of situations have definitely passed, where I don't really have much opportunities to really step on those leadership roles. More like you're pushed up into it, I suppose. But anyway, I would say that yeah, we worked pretty well as a team. We had the 2 main programmers. We had her as a leader. She programmed some of it, but she was also one more like assisting programming. So she was like, if you've ever heard of a rubber duck in programming, that's kind of what be like. Oh, we're running into problems. She'll sort of like supervise and try and figure it out with a person together, what the bug was or whatever with the code. And me just creating art, to be honest. They only had MS Paint on their computer, so I made everything in MS Paint, which is amusing as heck, to be honest. But it actually looked not awful, I think. I think it looked fine. I didn't know much about design back then, but now I do, so I'd definitely change a few things if I were to do it again, obviously, but now. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we had 2 other people. One of them he knew how to program, who also helped with like bug fixing and that sort of thing, but he didn't know how to program in JavaScript. I think he only knew like Visual Basic or something. But he did a lot of the testing, I remember. And then another person who didn't know how to program at all, but he made like the presentation. Oh yeah, those 2 basically did the presentation together, that's what I remember. And also did a lot of the bug testing. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like it shows, you know, we had a range of abilities, I suppose. And some people couldn't necessarily contribute in the most direct way. We still organised well together as a team and got a group project done, and it was honestly really good, and we won. We won that competition, and it was sick. And I got a iPod Shuffle, but could only hold 2 gigabytes of songs, so it could not hold that many songs. And I also don't know where it is now, because that was ages ago, and I didn't really use it much. But still, it's a cool idea, which counts. The group project is cool. There was another group project we did. We had like a business week back in school, which is basically meant to be sort of like an introduction to I don't know, working life or something. Like it talked about interviews, it talked about other stuff. I can't really remember. I'm just seeing if there's any other Christmas things we should buy. Oh, this is cute. Never seen that before. What is that? Baby chick costume. I'm not sure particularly want that. A pom casket. I like this black one. We'll buy that. Ooh. Pom-pom socks. Cute. I guess we'll buy some of these hand knit socks as well. Anyway, yeah, in a business week, and we worked together in a group where we basically had to design and pitch a project over a week, or I can't remember if it was over a week or also over 2 days. That one wasn't as good. I think I was much too, looking back on it, I was much too passive, as I don't think I even was the group leader on that one. Oh my gosh, the sunset looks beautiful right now. I just looked out my window. I was much too passive, to be honest, with okay, we're gonna go find Raymond, give that to him, and then in these last few minutes we'll spend diving for the lobster. I was much too passive to really be much of a leader then, because I don't even think I was a leader, maybe, but that's the difficulty with it. So things weren't particularly organised, and we didn't do that well, I don't think. I think we came like 5th or something, or 4th out of 6, I can't remember. We made a fridge which was basically a smart fridge, but it was not a very interesting idea, I suppose. And our project we made wasn't particularly good either, like our presentation, but it was a good learning experience. Of course now, I mean obviously now if I go back, I'm going back with like I was gonna say if I could turn back time and do it again, I'd be much better, but I was like, oh, that's obvious because that's like 12 years or something of experience of these sort of things. Okay, apparently Raymond, that I'd be putting to use to learn from it. So basically my whole point is group projects, they're not too bad, it just kind of depends on the group, and you know, I think that's kind of obvious, isn't it? I'm saying it in retrospect, but there's a lot can be done. I also feel like I'm sort of a person who works well under pressure. I've even taken a genetic test, which we should go into some other time, where it can see if you've got the gene for whether you're a warrior or warrior. So warrior as in like a gladiator warrior, or warrior as in someone who worries a lot. And apparently I'm a warrior, like a gladiator, which means I release optimal dopamine levels when under stress or something, like adrenaline. Which basically, as I understand it, boils down to I do my best work when I've got pressure on. Or I can work under pressure better than other people, and when there's no pressure, perhaps I'm a bit too relaxed or something, which I think is fair. But yeah, I don't know. Thinking back to myself and back on those, when we actually had those group projects back then, like GCSE or whatever time, definitely grown a lot as a person. I feel much more comfortable. In fact, because back then I was much too, like, lacking self-confidence, I suppose. But I had I think, if I'm to fluff my own feathers a little bit, I had a good balance of being a rather logically smart, analytical person, but also a good people person in some aspect. I'm not, like, particularly charismatic or something, or charming, like some other people might be, but I am empathetic, I like to think, and think of the needs and others of, and what some of my best abilities is being able to understand the strengths and weaknesses of other people, and to delegate roles, which, you know, is an important part of being a leader. Being able also to communicate with others. Another snow crab. I just want a lobster, you know. But back then I didn't think I had the confidence to do it. Nowadays, you know, I feel more confident about if we're working on projects. I'd be like, yeah, I'll step up and be leader. I'll call the shots. I don't mind putting my foot down in a lot of situations for these sort of things. But doesn't mean I always do it, obviously, because there's not that many projects we do. It's just sort of these birthday projects, and I'm talking about it like it's some super official thing, which is not. But still, it's just, yeah. I've never really taken too much time to think about it. Well, sometimes I do, but saying it out loud, I have grown a lot as a person since then. I have more confidence in being a leader. Because I think a leader is a very important position in a group, and it's not something to take so lightly, you know? You gotta be a good leader, and you gotta lead by example, especially, I think is the important part. Could I be a leader in other aspects of life? I don't know, it depends. I think a leader also needs to be experienced in whatever they're leading in, so it depends what I'm doing. If it's like, we need a leader for this Animal Crossing team, or whatever, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be good at that. I can do that. I'm well versed in Animal Crossing, and I feel how I could potentially have good qualities as a leader, depending on what sort of leader they're looking for. I will say, perhaps I'm not a very stern leader, which, you know, could be a downfall. Could be my downfall at a lot of different moments, which I think is fair. Perhaps I'm too quiet. Perhaps I'm too soft. I think these are all very fair and valid points, but they're things I'm working on, like you always should be. Always working on making yourself a better person, right? So that's not really much of a surprise, I suppose, in the end, is it? I think everyone's always trying to make yourself a better person. There's not many people out there trying to actively make themselves a worse person, but, you know, maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know everyone on this planet. We're like 7 billion odd people. Bound to be someone like that. But still. What was my point? I don't know what my point is. Basically, this is a group project, and as soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm going to get back to it. I'm sorry, Lily. I didn't realise you were going to call for me as soon as I entered Nick shopping. But, that's very sad. But it's almost done. And I just got to basically organise a lot of the actual panels together and put the dialogue in, which should be okay, I think. I don't know how difficult it's going to be. I'm going to estimate it's going to take me about 4 hours to do that. To finish a whole thing. So right now it's about 4, so I'll be finished at 8. That seems reasonable to me. I don't know if it'll be true or not. We'll have to see. What to do, what you think about, Lily? You've been looking for a long down coat? No, I wasn't, but that's what I get for listening to gossip. I should have asked you before I went shopping out for you. How about if I just give you a long down coat? Fantastic, Lily. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think we'll just round this episode off here, because I got a project to go back to. I don't know, it was interesting talking group projects. I don't know how I spent half an hour doing that. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much for spending Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscriptions, shares, all greatly appreciated. Join me, Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter, and I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.